We got picture, boom, boom. We got sound, boom. What we have now is 3 minutes of boxing. 1 round with George. Intro. Ever since I was a kid and saw Sugar Ray Leonard fight, I've loved boxing. I was at HBO for 15 years as a feature producer, won a few sports Emmys. Not bad. I got to travel the world and tell the great stories of these fighters.
Maybe something of a rooting interest in Alexander among the entire HBO Sports crew here, because Alexander's manager is former HBO Sports producer George Jacobin.
I've managed a fighter, I've worked a fighter's corner, being as close to the action as you can get. My life has revolved around boxing. May 21st, we had yet another busy day of boxing. On Showtime, the main event was 168-pound former champion David Benavidez taking on former middleweight champion David Lemieux, and it was a blowout. It was an expected blowout. David Benavidez almost stopped him in the first, dropped him in the second, and knocked him out in the third. Benavidez has been calling out everyone in the division. None of the big names are biting. Sooner or later, one of them has to happen. I would love to see him and Canelo. That's not going to happen. David Benavidez is a fan-friendly fighter. He brings it every fight. He gets hit, he hits, and what he does is he takes care of business. Speaking of Canelo, he will not be facing Dimitri Bivol, which I think is a good move. That he's gonna face Triple G. It's gonna be their trilogy fight, and it'll be at 168 pounds. Triple G is 40 years old. Sometimes a great rivalry brings out the best in a fighter, even when that fighter is older. So we'll see what happens when they match up. I think already Trainer of the Year in boxing is Derek James. Derek James has the unified welterweight champion in Errol Spence. He also has the undisputed champion at 154 pounds in Jermell Charlo. Derek James has been overlooked for a long time by the people who give out awards. This year, I cannot see him being denied Trainer of the Year. I've met Derek, I've interviewed Derek. He's a good dude, and he is a great trainer. Earlier that day, Floyd Mayweather had an exhibition against dangerous Don Moore. Look, Floyd is 43. He looked good for 43. He dropped Moore with a body shot. I saw something in this fight I never saw before. Floyd Mayweather was the ring card man in the 7th round. The guy's had a great career. His name is Money Mayweather. He knows how to make money. He's an all-time great. Jamel Herring also had a fight, which he lost, and he called it a career. Herring was an excellent fighter, a champion, a former Marine. I wish him well in retirement. There's been a lot of birthdays. The Charlo twins just had a birthday. Happy birthday to Jamel and Jamal. And 2 of my favorite fighters had birthdays within the same week. Happy birthday to the late great marvelous Marvin Hagler. His birthday was on May 23rd. He passed away a year ago. One of the greatest middleweights of all time, one of the greatest fighters of all time. And on May 17th, my man, the Sugar Man, Sugar Ray Leonard, had a birthday. When I was a kid, I was a member of the Sugar Ray Leonard fan club. Got this snazzy tape. And look, at one point when I was a kid, I wanted to be Sugar Ray Leonard. He's one of the greats. Happy birthday, Sugar Ray Leonard. May 18th marked 20 years since the legendary first Arturo Gatti and Mickey-Ward fight. This turned out to be one of the most exciting trilogies in boxing. Neither guy had a belt, but it didn't really matter. Going into this fight, a lot of people thought it had the potential to be Fight of the Year. It surpassed those expectations.
You know, you dream of fights like this, but very seldom do they live up to the expectations. This is even more than you could dream of. Arturo Gatti, Irish Mickey-Ward, 2 of the most honest fighters in the sport of boxing, circa 2002. A fight straight out of the 1950s, a throwback to the golden era of the ring.
It was the fight of the year. It was one of the fights of the decade. But Mickey-Ward, Arturo Gatti, thank you so much for what you did 20 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long. This weekend, May 28th, we have a grudge match. The long-delayed Gervonta Davis-Rolly Romero fight for Davis's lightweight title. They were supposed to fight last year. It didn't happen. This reminds me a little bit of Blair Cobb. He talked his way into a fight, and he couldn't walk the walk. There's no doubt that Rolly Romero talked his way into this fight. Says he's going to knock him out in 1 round. Says he's going to beat him. May 28th, they fight on Showtime pay-per-view. Who doesn't like a grudge match? And that is what this has become. And Gervonta Davis made it known to Brian Custer that he will be leaving Mayweather Promotions.
So this is your last fight with Mayweather Promotions?
Yes, sir. Who knows what's going to happen when it's said and done, but Gervonta Davis has proven to be an attraction. He brings fans in. He's an exciting fighter, and he's in one of boxing's best divisions, the lightweight division. I am way past the bell again. That's my time. Stay tuned next week for another edition of 1 Round with George. That exhilarating 1 round with me is over. Now you can go to my YouTube page. You can like the content, you can subscribe to the page, and there is more coming soon.